Is it possible to be living the dream on minimum wage in Cornwall? In this video we will be drawing on our experience of doing just that. The pros, the cons. Are the sacrifices worth making to achieve the dream?
Wow, you wouldn't sleep at night,
no,
would you? No.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
We're at Perranporth, but what are we doing here, Andrew?
Well, we asked a Google question.
We did.
I typed into Google, is it possible to live in Cornwall on minimum wage?
What was the answer?
Well, the AI response that came back said, no. No, it's not possible to comfortably live in Cornwall on the national minimum wage. And it got us thinking.
Is it true? So that's what we're going to explore in this video today. Can you live in Cornwall on minimum wage comfortably? It's the stunning Perranporth beach. The RNLI are out there, surfers in the water, people paddling in the little rock pools here. What a stunning view. But can you buy all of this and live in Cornwall on minimum wage? It's September 2025 and minimum wage is £12.21p an hour. £12.21 an hour at 39 hours a week is £24,762 a year.
So that's your gross pay?
That's gross, yes.
So you're going to have things that are taken off, haven't you? You're going to have your national insurance, you're going to have your income tax, isn't it?
Yes.
So is this a weird question though? You know, is it an odd question to say, can you live in Cornwall on a minimum wage?
I think behind that question is saying, I am low paid, Cornwall's expensive, can I ever hope to fulfil my dream of living in Cornwall?
Yeah, and that result that came back, it said that no, you couldn't, but it said something really interesting. It said you couldn't live comfortably. And I think that is probably the key word.
It is, I agree with you. So we had to have a little dig around and we discovered that the average rent in Cornwall at the moment is somewhere between £1,200 and £1,300 a month, which seems quite a lot, doesn't it?
It does seem an awful lot, doesn't it? Yeah, I thought that was a lot.
When you take £24,762, deduct some tax, you're looking at £1,700 and a bit after tax.
A month.
A month.
Yeah, and that's per person, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, this is quite pertinent to us, isn't it? Because we are both in minimum wage jobs.
Yes.
But we live in Cornwall.
Yes.
We've always lived in Cornwall. And I hope that we always continue to live in Cornwall.
I have some doubt that we will be able to retire here, but that's a whole different video. So there's some figures for you. We're looking at about 1,700 and something net every month, and we're looking at around £1,200 to £1,300 of housing costs. Housing costs, of course, will depend on your personal circumstances. So we chose to explore this theme in Perranporth because you've got everything here. You have the seaside resort with the holiday and tourism. You also have a full-time community. You have a doctor's surgery, a library, and even a museum, and all manner of shops in town. So you do have a community here 365 days a year.
It is also a sought-after retirement place. Whilst Perranporth is on the north coast, it does have a bus service that takes you directly into Truro, which is about 10 miles away, or you could head up to Newquay, which is about 8 miles away, and may be important if you are on minimum wage and you don't run a car.
Within Perranporth you have an estate agents, a butcher's, I think you've even got 2 co-ops.
Yeah, it's something here for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
If your dog got poorly, there's a vet's. I've seen a care home. You know, what's it mixes?
Funeral directors.
Yeah, and you can get a lovely ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah, pubs. It's a community.
It is.
But it's also a holiday resort, and it's one of the few places I think in Cornwall that still manages to successfully mix both things.
Yes, yeah. It's a balance is what we're trying to say, isn't it? Not everywhere in Cornwall feels real. This place feels real. Some places can feel a bit Disney. Poldark can really feel as though it's aiming its whole culture at the tourism market, but at least here it's more real, which is why we chose Perranporth to decide whether or not you could live in Cornwall on minimum wage.
We cannot make a video about living in Cornwall on minimum wage without highlighting that there is extreme poverty in the county. The Diocese of Truro and Marjon University in Plymouth published a report this autumn called Pretty Poverty. It explored what it was like to live in some of Cornwall's poorest communities like Sennan, St Day and even parts of Looe, concluding that the government deprivation measures were failing rural Cornwall communities. Many minimum wage jobs in Cornwall are seasonal and part-time, leading to families facing hardship.
So we feel there is a little bit of a two-tier way of life in Cornwall. You've got the coast where the wealthy people live and investors buy up properties to let. And then you've got inland where life goes on in a more normal way. It's not quite so much like a vacation. It's you get up and you go to work and you come home and you have your dinner and you go to bed and eat, sleep, repeat, whatever that phrase is.
That's been the case over at least 30 or 40 years.
Yes.
I mean, the spine of Cornwall, the inland towns, predominantly is where you will find slightly cheaper housing, more affordable housing, should we say.
Yes.
And that's where your communities tend to be. It tends to be where the local people will live.
Here on the seafront, where you've got a sea view, there's lots of expensive properties. They carry a hefty price tag. But are there buildings, are there houses and properties in Perranporth where you could live for less than £500,000 or £1 million? We had a quick look in the estate agent's window and there are properties here, 3-bedroom properties, for less than £500,000. But does minimum wage buy you that type of property? Obviously that will depend on your personal circumstances. If you're renting, we looked up the average rental value in the county at somewhere between £1,200 and £1,300 a month.
Let's take a look around Perranporth itself. Perranporth is a town on the north coast of Cornwall. Although it's a popular tourist resort for its stunning beach and surfing culture, it still has a lot to offer permanent residents 365 days a year. And whilst minimum wage or low level of income may not buy you a sea view, I heard it said once that you're never further than 15 miles from the sea while you're in Cornwall, and that is its true beauty. This book is called Cornwall and it's been published by Shell, as in the International Oil Company. I think they actually did a publication for each county in the UK, and it was printed in 1964. This particular issue has input from John Betjeman, and he says of Perranporth, the stretch of sand from here to Liggerhead looks big enough to house the whole population of Britain. Dunes gone to turfy grass at its low coast with the Gull Rocks jabbing the horizon. He is a bit controversial in this though. He says our own age has added bungalows, palm-shaded public conveniences and amenities, and shopping parades to the cheapest style, so that Newquay looks almost smart by comparison. So John Betjeman wasn't impressed by Perranporth. And I guess it is a bit of a Marmite town. It's not an old town. It's really been developed since the railway came in the Victorian era. These days, it's a surfer's paradise and the youngsters love it, especially with the watering hole on the beach.
The beaches around Cornwall, of course, are a draw. It's one of the reasons for living here. This beach at Perranporth is so long. At low tide, I don't think we've ever walked to the farthest end of it, have we?
No, you'd have a shock though if you did.
Why is that?
Because apparently right at the very end it's a nudist beach.
Oh, of course!
Yes!
Yes!
Yes, but I'm not feeling brave enough today, it's too cold.
No, I'm going to trip over a dog. Whoops! There we go.
It's a very big beach.
So it's brilliant having the coast around you in Cornwall, and like I said a minute ago, I think it's only ever 15 miles away from you at any point in Cornwall. So if you've got transport, it's a free thing to do, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're surrounded by the coast, which is great. There's so many options of beautiful beaches and stunning walks along the southwest coast path for you to choose from.
Absolutely, for free. Well, other than parking and petrol. Hello, Poppet. And of course, if you've got a couple of these, one of these, however many of these little doggies, little fur babies, they still need walking. Good boy. Tick, 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 tick. If you've watched our channel for a while, you would have realised when we released our video about the salt path earlier this year that we're not affluent people. We've got issues that prevent us from earning vast sums of money. The channel indeed was a way for us to have some entertainment for free. Walking essentially is a low-cost hobby. Of course you can buy expensive equipment, you can buy expensive walking boots, you can buy expensive poles, you can have fancy apps on your phone, but essentially you could, in its simplest terms, just pick up the Southwest Coast Path in a pair of trainers and off you go. So it is a free form of entertainment in Cornwall, and it's so good for you, it's so good for your mental health. So does having less money make up for itself in terms of having a healthier, better lifestyle? I'd rather have this any day than London, wouldn't you?
You can't beat it, can you?
No.
Living the dream.
Oh, I've just gone down a pothole. The other joy about the coast as a lifestyle choice is that it changes with every season. So here we are in the winter with woolly hats, thick heavy coats on, and there's hardly anybody here. Look at the beach behind me, there's just the odd dog walker. In the summer months it offers you other activities. You can get in the sea, you can do surfing, you can swim, just swim. Swimming is free. On a low budget you can afford to go in and have a swim. And then you've got the crowds in the summer to entertain you. So we've touched on house prices a little bit.
And that's probably going to be your biggest cost. As we said before, it depends on your own circumstances, but after that you've got to eat. And you're going to have bills to pay, and to be honest with you, I think that's going to be fairly similar to what you'd expect around the rest of the UK. The only things that spring to my mind that's going to be more expensive is possibly things like your water bill.
Just thinking about your bills, let's take a quick look at council tax. In Cornwall, a Bandby property is £1,913 for 25/26. In Wiltshire, the same property, a Bandby property, would be £1,900 and 43p.
I mean, you think your food costs, I mean, we've got the same supermarkets as they'll have up country.
Yeah.
If you're in a really remote part though, you might not have a choice, and then it might be a bit more expensive.
Yeah, so choice will determine whether or not costs come down, don't they? The more supermarkets around, the more competition, the better it is for us, isn't it? But Cornwall does lack some competition in certain areas. Good point.
If you can't afford your rent or you can't afford a house, you could live in a cave.
Ta-da! Got a mini cascade going on in here. It's been so wet recently. Obviously the water is draining out of the rock face above. Wow.
I like your place here. It's even got a built-in shower.
Yes, 24/7.
Lovely, isn't it? Just do my hair.
On a more serious note, the bills that we dread.
Yeah, we're careful, aren't we? You budget. We both do, don't we? We tend to be really careful. We're always very mindful, and the thing that always messes us up is that unexpected bill. And it's usually to do with trades, isn't it?
Or professionals. Teeth.
Yes.
Teeth. So expensive. Oh my goodness. Vet bills, another one. We're really careful whenever the dog's got something minor wrong with it. He's up there so it doesn't get too big a cost too quickly, isn't it? Mechanics, that's another one, isn't it, that throws us out. Yeah, you're right. And then we are a bit afraid of even approaching trades because we don't know if we can afford it. So yeah, anything that needs doing to the house is a bit of a worry.
I mean, there's certain things we'll try and do ourselves. But, you know, we're pretty good. We do the basic stuff. YouTube's great, isn't it? How to do this, how to fix that.
Yes.
But sometimes you do have to call in a professional.
Yeah.
And they're not cheap, are they? They are expensive down here, and I think it's to do with supply and demand.
Yes, absolutely. And I also think that we are competing with the very deep pockets of people that invest in Cornwall and buy a house for the holiday market, and their pockets are a lot deeper than ours.
Yeah, top tip, if you are going to call out a professional to do some work,
put
on your best Cornish accent and call them hard.
Well, unless they're from London.
Oh yeah, won't work then, will it?
No. Okay, so we've covered off housing and your essentials like your bills. What about more discretionary things like treats and eating out?
The nice stuff in life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what about a fish and chip takeaway? Well, this local chip shop in Snorstall charges £4.50 for medium chips and for standard cod £8.50, totalling £13. This random chip shop in Bedford charges £4.20 for a small chips and cod at £8, so totalling £12.20, just only slightly cheaper. And a night out in one of our local cinemas would be £9 per adult.
It's different down here. You haven't got the draw of the big like football stadiums, have you? You haven't got those big sport events. There are cinemas down here, but they tend to be a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
And most of, I think, the entertainment out here is probably going to be around things like food.
Yes, yes. So it's really odd, that is, as well, isn't it? Because the tourist industry drives gastro eating and gastro pubs, which on a minimum wage as a local we find really difficult to get there, don't we, and achieve those prices. We can't afford it always.
No, we tend to go out of season. You'll find quite often these places, if they're staying open all year, they'll run some deals out of season, and we've picked up some really great offers before. And there's still lots of little country pubs as well. You just need to know where to look.
The other thing I think we do as a couple is we tend to go for a coffee and cake somewhere that costs us about £15 rather than a dinner that costs us £80.
Yeah, we also like a nice packed lunch. You can't beat it. Proof our dogs were here. Are they going to fill their hole back in?
The actors are back.
Okay.
Tick, 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 tick. Tick, tick. There you go. Cue action. Tick, tick, tick. Yeah, good boy. I think he wants a pay rise.
Yes, he only does it for treats.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
So another treat on our treat list would be a holiday.
Yeah, we haven't had a foreign holiday, I think, for about 6 years. Last time we went anywhere, we went to Lanzarote.
We did, it was before COVID. I haven't been on a plane since COVID.
No, we've had a few short breaks in this country. We went up to Wales this year, and we had one or two little overnights. Went to Bath, that was nice.
Yeah.
But I suppose when you live somewhere like this, do you actually need to budget for a holiday every year? You got a holiday 365 days of the year on your doorstep.
It's still nice to get away. Wherever you live, it's still nice to get away from your routine and just close the door and open a different one, isn't it?
Yes, it's refreshing.
It is. And then you do appreciate, you come back and you appreciate what you have got
You
even
do.
more,
You
don't
do.
you?
Go, well, that was very nice, but it's nice
Yes,
to come home.
it's lovely to come home. It's late November, so this video is probably going to be hitting our channel beginning of December, something like that. I think it might have to move because of the wind.
Okay.
Let's come around here so that we're pointing into the wind. And Christmas is a major expense, isn't it? There's no getting away from it, and it seems to be getting more and more expensive. I went to Truro this week.
Did you? Did you get my present? What did I get?
I went with our daughter and we just had a bit of a browse, and I was absolutely shocked by the price of one garment that I saw. It was a beautiful jumper, a sweater, one of the Nordic jumpers with a beautiful design. How much?
So it's nice. What, a ladies' jumper?
Yes.
Oh, you put me on the spot. I haven't bought a ladies' jumper for quite a while.
Doesn't suit you, Andrew.
I don't know, £100?
No,
No?
no, I would have said £100 was a lot for a jumper.
Yeah, yeah.
No, more.
130?
No, more.
More?
Yes.
I don't know, 150.
Try £320. I know!
£320?
£320 for one sweater. So yeah, I must admit, even with the Black Friday deals going on in the store, I was thinking, well, 20% off 320. Well, I couldn't even afford the 20% here. Look, this is ridiculous. So yes, it did stay there.
Which charity shop were you looking at? But things have got more expensive. Even,
Yeah.
you know, your food shop for Christmas. It's gone up a lot this year, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And you're really good. You do budget. We put money away every month.
Every
for
month
Christmas,
we
but
put
it
something
just
aside.
doesn't stretch as far as it used to.
No. I was absolutely shocked last year. Over the last few years, traditionally I've made a cake, Christmas cake for us, and put 10% in the recipe to make a little one in pork pie dishes for the parents, one each. And last year the ingredients just to make a large cake and two smaller ones cost me £70. And I was absolutely floored.
They were very nice though.
They were very nice
Very
cakes.
nice.
And
Still a lot.
and you're there thinking, what on earth does she put in her Christmas cake? Well, admittedly, I did have to buy a new bottle of brandy, so that was part of the cost. But yeah, it seems to me like the supermarkets are now taking advantage of you if you want to indulge in crafting something like a Christmas cake.
Yeah, but let's be honest, this isn't unique to Cornwall, is it?
No.
This is going to be the same wherever you are in the UK.
Yes, yeah. So if you can't afford it up country, you probably can't afford it down here on minimum wage either, can you? So you have to make sacrifices. We've kind of touched on how we manage to live on minimum wage, or a low level of income within Cornwall. And we've got a bit of a side hustle with the art sales. They help us enormously, especially when we've got a big bill. How do you do it if you're living on a low income? What are your priorities and what are your sacrifices? We'd love to know. A lot of our sacrifices involve luxuries, which I'm kind of guessing is a common theme. Anyway, by all means, drop it in the comments. An absolutely amazing feeling to ride a horse at full pelt along a beach with no obstacles.
Yes, and it's a very long beach room to do it on, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll be coming back again soon, won't they? Ah, living the dream, eh? Have you got any horse puns?
I can't think of anything off the hoof.
Ah! You need to get back in the saddle and practice. So we live in Cornwall, we earn minimum wage, and I think we live carefully, almost comfortably.
We do, I think we do as well. So yeah, we're living the dream in Cornwall on a low wage. Google said you couldn't do it, said no.
Yes.
The key word I think was comfortably.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't think sometimes we find it comfortable. I think sometimes it's a challenge.
It's a bit worrying.
And it depends on your personal circumstances. I don't know if we've helped with this video today. We've tried our best. What do you think? Let us know. If you've enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, always helps. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe.
So until next time, we'll say goodbye for now. So bye!
Goodbye!